as the most intelligent members of the Corvidae family. Magpies are found worldwide, with approximately 17 species, including the Eurasian magpie and the common magpie, being the most common in my country. These birds are renowned for their exceptional intelligence and shrewdness, and are considered by scientists to be among the most intelligent creatures on Earth. Magpies can not only accurately recognize themselves in a mirror, but also solve challenges that require complex logic and creativity, demonstrating remarkable problem-solving skills. This intelligence is evident in their nest-building skills, which are not only large, sturdy, but also ingeniously designed. Unlike the open nests of most birds, magpies prefer to build domed nests with side entrances, meticulously cementing them with mud and moss, a process that often takes weeks. However, magpies have a less than stellar reputation in the bird world. While they don't engage in brood parasitism like cuckoos, their attacks and predation of other bird chicks and eggs have led to controversy. However, from an ecological perspective, these behaviors are natural. In most cases, the presence of magpies and other corvids does not lead to a decrease in songbird populations within their habitats. On the contrary, studies have shown that they promote local songbird populations. Magpies are highly adaptable, nesting in diverse environments. They particularly prefer tall, dense trees and thorny bushes, often choosing nesting sites over 10 meters high. They can be found in rural, semi-rural, and agricultural areas, as well as towns, cities, and parks. In these locations, magpies may simplify their nesting structure, building simple, open-top nests rather than their preferred domed nests. Research has found that approximately 0.30% of magpie nests are open-topped. Magpie nests are large, sturdy, and dome-shaped, meticulously crafted by experienced magpie couples. They range in width and height from 50 to 75 centimeters. The nests are framed with branches and sticks, and contain a clay cup inside. This cup is a key component in the initial nesting process, providing a stable foundation. Dome nests have side entrances, resembling small cabins suspended between trees. Magpies in the northern hemisphere begin preparing for spring breeding during winter, typically completing nesting by March at the latest. Female magpies lay their first clutch of eggs in April and continue nesting until the chicks have fledged. Most females produce only one clutch per year. Given the arduous nature of nesting, most magpies choose to remain sedentary, spending extended periods in their nests. The magpie's intelligence is particularly evident in nesting. They work in pairs, with the male carrying materials and the female leading the construction. When materials are sufficient, both birds contribute to the construction process. Nesting typically begins with a sturdy platform or mud cup to secure the base of the nest. Magpies then construct a dome, about 75 centimeters high, using branches and sticks. Once the dome is sealed, the structure is reinforced with mud and moss. Finally, the interior of the nest is lined with soft materials such as moss, animal hair, and feathers, creating a comfortable living environment. Magpies also ingeniously use human objects as building materials, a trait often depicted in films and television shows as lost items being retrieved from magpie nests. Magpies exhibit two distinct nesting strategies. One uses mud as a foundation and gradually builds upward. The other uses branches and twigs to construct a preliminary three-dimensional framework and then refines the internal structure. Scientists speculate that these two nesting methods may be adapted to different habitats, with one strategy being more advantageous under certain conditions. These carefully constructed nests are not only structurally stable, but also highly airtight, effectively protecting them from wind and rain, which explains why their construction process can take between 1 and 8 weeks. Why do magpies spend so much time building nests? While magpies tend to use the same nest for long periods of time, nests can still be damaged by vandalism, human interference, or natural disasters, forcing them to rebuild. Experienced magpies quickly build larger and more robust nests, while novices must accumulate experience through trial and error, which takes longer. Furthermore, some magpies believe that a domed roof is not essential for the survival of their nest and choose to build open nests, which significantly shortens the construction time. Statistics show that approximately 30% to 40% of magpie nests are reused and renovated by magpies. The primary purpose of magpies nesting is to reproduce, so understanding their reproductive habits is crucial. In most parts of the northern hemisphere, magpies typically lay eggs during the spring breeding season, which runs from late March to June or July. However, this timing varies. The breeding season can be earlier or later, depending on the local climate and magpie species. In subtropical and tropical regions, magpies may even lay eggs year-round. Magpies typically lay only one clutch per year, but if the initial clutch fails, they will often attempt a second one.